Hello, everybody. So my project today goes along with a blog post over at Traci Reed's blog where we are playing with tags or labels. So I have all of these labels. Some of these are from Hearth and Home, which is the collection I'll be working with primarily, but some of them are from other collections. I think some of them are from All the Thanks, but the colors work together. So I want to use this beautiful plaid background paper. This is also from Hearth and Home. So this layout will be 100% hybrid except for some sequins at the end. So what I'm doing, and I think my title? No, I'm going to stay at my title. So what I did was I just cut this plaid 12 by 12 paper down to 11 by 11, and then I'm going to go ahead and place it in the middle of my cream colored cardstock. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share with you and show you how you can use a bunch of labels as a decorative element, and how using the labels as a decorative element allows you to then go ahead and use a busier pattern paper. So we're going to use this gorgeous plaid. I love it. So this will be kind of like the opening page in my son's school album. This will be the page for his 9th grade, the beginning of all of his 9th grade photos. And I needed to decide between those two patterns which one I liked behind the photo. So these are just 4x6 patterned cards from Traci Reed. And all I did was kind of trim my photo down a little bit, and then it would mat onto the 4x6 card perfectly. I'm grabbing some vintage photo distress oxide ink. You guys know if it's not vintage photo, it's hickory smoke, because those are the only ones I use primarily. I have tons more colors, but that's the one I use. So I'm just wanting to center this picture right on my page. And right now, you can kind of see that pattern paper is maybe drowning out the photo a little bit, right? But we are totally going to fix that. So I'm going to take all of these labels, and I'm going to puzzle piece them all together into a row down the middle of my page. I'm inking them all up as I go, but almost immediately you can kind of see how using labels in this way, putting a lot of them onto a large section of your scrapbook page, allows you to break up a busy background paper. Right away, it's going to kind of allow your photo to pop, and the background paper, even though it is busy, will go where it needs to go, which is in the background. So by using labels in this very creative and different way, we are truly getting the most out of our digital products. You can print these large, you can print these small. I tended to print mine. I printed mine with this project in mind. I knew what I was doing with these labels when I printed them. So when I sized them, I was able to size them to just the right sizes so that I knew that they would take up enough space. I knew I had enough to cover the center area, and I knew that they were going to provide the white space I needed to break down that pattern paper. So I'm just going to continue on here, inking and sticking these labels. Once I had them all down, and you'll notice some of them go off the edge of the page. That's just a great design tip. It just pulls everything together when you allow some of your elements to kind of slide off the edge of the page. So now I'm going to go ahead and think about embellishing. How do I want to embellish this layout? I started with my title. This is a stamp set from Journals of Life Stamps. I really love this stamp set. I actually use it just about every time I do or work in one of my boys' school album. Super useful. And I love the style of it. It's so good. So I'm going to go ahead and do 9th grade on that label above his photo, and then the yellow label below the photo, I'm going to put the school years. And then one of the kind of little extra stamps on this in this stamp set is this adorable little heart. And so I decided I would go ahead and scatter some of those around my layout. If you're interested in the ink colors I'm using, it's all Catherine Puller, Juniper Mist, and Sage are the colors that I chose for this layout. So when it comes to embellishing this layout, I think it's important to remember that we don't want to cover up every bit of white space that those labels are providing for us. We want to fill in a couple areas, add a couple cute things. We don't want it to look, we don't want to have it look too boring. We don't want it to, we want some interest here and there. But it's also really important that you allow some of that white space from the labels to be there, because remember that white space is providing the eyes of our viewers with a break. It's breaking down that pattern paper. It's making it so that your eye can look at the photo, look at the information. So you don't want to add too much. You just want to add a little bit. Adding some tabby dots to some of these elements will just provide some dimension and a bit of lift. So what I did throughout the embellishment process of this video was I put stuff down, I took stuff off, I put stuff down, I took stuff off. I kind of fidgeted quite a bit with this because I was looking for that perfect balance. And there's no easy way to tell you how, when you know. Because you're looking at it and you're going, okay, this is enough for me, and if I add too much more, it's going to become a big hot mess, which it will, because it's a lot. We already have that pattern paper in the background. Just keep saying that to yourself as you embellish. Keep your colors simple. Keep your colors minimal. And again, this is just my personal opinion. You don't have to take it at all. But this was my thought as I was doing this. I want to cover the labels, keep them interesting, but not overwhelm my photo. And the great thing about these hybrid elements or hybrid stickers or die cuts, however you use them, you are 100% in charge of their size. So you decide how big or how small you want these elements to be. Once I was happy with all of these elements where they were located, I'm going to go down in through this layout and accent with some sequins as per usual. I'm using Peach and Berry Cobbler sequins from Spiegel Mom Scraps, which I do believe are sold out, but they were a fabulous match to this collection, and so I grabbed them out of my stash. And I'm going to sprinkle them just right down that center area of my layout. And that is where we are going to call this one done. You will find so many more examples of how to use tags and labels in new and different ways over on Traci's blog today. So be sure to head over and check out the blog post that goes with this project. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.